Paramedics arrive first and find the victim hit with the ooh-whop. They transport him to the hospital, but he expired. When Detective Givens arrived, he learned that they took the victim to the hospital where he expired upon arrival. He's identified as 43-year-old Clarence Wilson, a.k.a. Cash Money Vamp, an established hip-hop promoter and cousin to Birdman, Cash Money Records CEO. As they're investigating the scene, they find one fragment and a casing. Vamp was hit in the neck. It's a gas station across the street. They'll check that for video footage. There were 4 other people in the limousine also. They told detectives that they were coming back from Atlanta, 5 of them in the Bentley limousine. A car pulls up. Vamp exits the vehicle. The passenger heard the ooh-whop go off and see Vamp is slumped. Then they let Givens know that one of the guys drove off with the limousine. They have no idea where he went to. After about 2 hours, the guy came back to the scene in a van. He said that the limousine is at Vamp Mom's house, and they noticed that he changed shirts. So they take him and the other 3 passengers to the station, and Detective Givens heads over to Vamp Mom's house. They see the limo park. There's a slug in the door.
The Chrysler front end. And they just put the Bentley on it. Nothing surprises me. Nothing. Y'all don't have to bring a big flatbed.
So Givens head back to the station to start the interviews. The first passengers say they were coming back from Atlanta from a Waka Flocka concert. When they arrived in New Orleans, they made a stop. They got out the car to stretch. He knows Vamp was waiting on somebody. Then he said, let's bounce. So they drove down the streets, and he guessed they met up. Vamp got out the vehicle, and he heard the ooh-whop go off, and Vamp hit the ground. He said that he was waiting on the guy to come finish them, but he did see the guy wearing a white T-shirt and pants, and he was kind of chubby, but didn't see his face. So Detective Givens told him that's a bad area for moving work. Did that have anything to do with it?
He's like my mentor. He motivates me to stay accountable.
Now they talked to the guy who drove off in the limo. He said they told him they're going to process it. After they did that, he was told it was okay. They told him they was done. So they asked him what was he wearing earlier. He said everything except the shirt. He was giving aid to Vamp and got red stains on his shirt. So they end that interview, talked to the next passenger. He said they were coming from Atlanta. He turned his head and the ooh-whop went off. Last passenger said he turned around to look and seen Vamp land on the ground. So they end those interviews believing it was a planned meeting between Vamp and this guy. So they get information from Vamp's phone and identify a guy as Jakim Dow. He has previous convictions of burglary, possession of stolen items, 3 counts of felony escape. He called several times before the incident.
It looks like one of the guys, a detective who still works out in the 7th District, actually stopped and talked to Jakim that night, maybe a block and a half away from the crime scene just after the murder occurred.
Then Givens get the video from the gas station. They can't see where the actual incident happened, but then a guy wearing pants and a white T-shirt comes running across the lot around the time the incident happened. So Givens take what he has to a judge to obtain a warrant. The judge issued a warrant, and the search began. They snatched Jakim Dow up. Doing a search warrant of his home, they discovered
they're both in the music business. You come across people that have weapons and drugs and a large amount of cash. It could be very legitimate. They're also living a lifestyle with a life really means very little to them.
So they start the interview. They asked him, do he know why he's here? He said the marshals told him a probation violation. So the detectives tell him he's under arrest for second-degree M in this case. The guy name is Clarence. They call him Vamp. How do you know him? He said he does it. So Givens tell him that he does concert promotions also. Jakim said, no, I'm an artist. So Givens asked him to explain the contract they found between him and Clarence in your house. He said that he had nothing to do with this. Then they asked him, why is it calls in his phone from you right before the incident? Jakim said he has no knowledge of that. So Givens tell him, so someone else has a phone in your name. He said, maybe my little brother. Givens said, so you saying your brother did it? He said that I'm not saying that. Givens said, everything you saying come back to you. What about the ooh-whop we found? The duffel bag full of cash. Jakim said he doesn't know anything. So they wrap that up, arrest Jakim Dow. He pled guilty to manslaughter and was sentenced to 20 years. Thank you for watching. Leave me some comments. Hit that like button. Hit that thanks button. Stay safe out there. I'm done talking.
It's unreal. We know he's gone, but it's still unreal.